Do you occasionally run ads on Meta and use it as a primary ad resource for your business or your brand? If so, this one's for you. Hi, my name is Fazan Riaz and I'm the co-founder of Forward Digital Consultancy. Today, let's talk about how you can make sure that your audience targeting is on point and everything that you're doing with your Meta ad campaign delivers the best results for you. Let's dive in. So the number one thing that you need to take care of when you're running a campaign is to ensure that the objective that you're selecting is directly related to the objective that you want your campaign to achieve. See, how the algorithm works is that it tries to find people that usually take the action that you have chosen as your ads objective and then show your campaign, show your ads to those set of people, even though whatever type of targeting you've selected, whatever audience bracket you selected. So if you want engagement, run an engagement ad. If you want leads, run a lead ad. If you want a sale, run something for conversions. You cannot expect that an ad that is being run for engagement will give you leads, that it will give you sales, or that it will help you achieve other objectives directly. Yes, of course, the set of people that you're targeting remains the same, but the platform, the algorithm optimizes your campaign in such a way that it will most likely show it to people who are most likely going to take that action. That's why the key metric that you're looking at whenever you run a campaign is always associated with that objective. So for example, if you're running an engagement campaign, that is what it'll show you. So it might show you likes, clicks, comments, shares, video views, everything that encompasses engagement. Yes, that could be good for awareness. Yes, that could be good for engagement, but that might not be the ideal case when it comes to generating leads or when it comes to creating sales for your business. The next step is to find the right people that you should be targeting. Now, if you go to the ad set level after when you've chosen your campaign objective at the campaign level, once you go to the ad set level, you'll have a set of choices to make sure that you're targeting the right people. This would include locations, this would include gender, this would include age, and this would include interests or behaviors or a lot of other parameters that you can choose to craft your audience. Now, depending on the objective and depending on what you want to achieve, the audiences are going to differ. So for example, if you're targeting people in the top of your funnel, your targeting is going to be very broad, like comparatively very broad as opposed to lower funnel stages. So for example, if you talk about a B2B business perhaps, right? The first instance, the first ad that you would be running might not be directly for sales or setting up an appointment or booking a demo. It might be about telling people what your product really is or what people think about it and how it can help them solve a major business problem. So in this case, your objective might be engagement or brand awareness or video views. And you would be looking at people who are, if I'm talking about, let's say, an accounting-based software, perhaps, right? So you would be looking at small business owners, you would be looking at people in finance, and what you would be doing is making sure that your content, whatever you're showing to these people, is able to solve their problem, is able to answer to a question that they might have. So in this instance, when you're choosing your audience, make sure that it is broad enough for the algorithm to work. Because if you keep it very narrow, the options, the limitations of the campaign are going to be a lot. Your cost per result is going to increase and the results that you're going to get are going to be very few. Even though you might be able to get a few results at a very low cost, but that is not really scalable. For example, if you create a campaign for lead generation, right? And what you do is you set a very defined audience or what you think the exact audience or your audience looks like. You will start getting results. Chances are you will start getting results, but the scalability of that campaign is going to be very limited. And after some time, what you're going to see is that the results of your campaign are going down and the cost per result of your campaign is going up. So to avoid this, ensure that the audience size is broad enough for the algorithm to keep finding new people. Another thing that you can do when running your campaign and selecting your target audience is to create a lookalike audience based on customer interactions. So if you have data available to you, if you have records of data of purchasers, of past purchasers, or if you have data of people who have already interacted with you in one way or another, perhaps on your website or on your social media, perhaps they watched a video or they filled out a form previously but never converted, you can use that audience to create a custom audience, and then based on that you can ask Meta to create a lookalike audience based on that. So what will happen is Meta will try to identify the people who are very similar to that and then show your ads to those set of people. You can also add extra layers of targeting on top of it. Perhaps you want to put in the age group that you want to target, right? Just to ensure that you're targeting the right people. You can use those parameters, but with caution, so that ensuring that your audience size is not very narrowed. So if you use custom audiences and lookalike audiences, your ads are going to perform really well. Another thing that marketers and businesses usually don't take into consideration is the creative itself. Every ad objective usually has a corresponding ads unit, a creative guideline that is going to get the best results for it. So for example, for a conversion ad, for a lead ad, a static image or a carousel could perform really well. For something for engagement, a video could be really good. Then again, what kind of video? What is the duration of that video? What key messaging would you be putting into it? Finding the creative that works for your brand is very important. This is why it's always recommended that you experiment with a couple of categories of content, a couple of categories of the style of the content, the placement itself, as in what you're running it on. Was it a separate creative for stories? Is it a separate creative for static? Is it optimized based on all platforms, all placements? And what category does it belong to? Is it informational? Is it a direct question? Is it something based on credibility? Because you see, there are going to be different sets of people that you're targeting to, even though you've selected a comparatively better target audience in the previous step. But still, there's still going to be a variety of people with multiple incentives, multiple starting points when it comes to choosing your product or initiating that conversation with you. So make sure that you have a variety of content. You are testing with multiple types. You are testing with a video, a static, a carousel, or an instant experience perhaps. That way you'll be able to find out what creative, what messaging works best for your audience. And once you have that result, you can start scaling your campaign almost immediately. So there you have it. These are my recommendations when you create a Meta campaign for your business or your brand. Have something else to add to the story? I would like to hear your thoughts. Comment below and I'll get back to you. Or drop me a message. Let's have a conversation. Thank you.